Morning guys, Saturday morning, and just spoken to Steve because I've got some bits just arrived for him that I was going to drop down to him. He's got a car going on the rollers this morning, so I'm going to get down there, do some video of that, and then I'll be back home working on my car a little bit later on. So I'm finally back home. Spent ages down at Steve's because we were doing a load of work on the engine. Not going to be including any of the footage of the engine build in this video. I'm going to be saving all of that until I can do one video, whole engine build, installation and dyno run. So look forward to that video when it happens. So I got back later than I intended. I'm going to do some dinner now, and then I'm going to do a little bit of work on the car. I'm going to put some bits back together and possibly just get out in the garage and pull some parts off the car that need painting. Okay, so I've got the mounting surface all cleaned up, and my painted cover, which I've also cleaned all the mounting surface, and a brand new gasket that only lines up one way around. There we go. So just drop that into place. There we go, that's the top cover back on the gearbox. So the gearbox will eventually actually come out of this box. I need to pull the bell housing off the gearbox in the car at the moment, clean it, paint it, and then attach it to the front of this. So that's when I'll bother actually taking it out, because then I'll be dropping the whole thing back into the car. So if you need a standard Type 9, send me a message, got one for sale. Morning, so it's now Sunday, and didn't really get anything else done last night, but got the car right now. I'm going to take the bonnet and nose cone off, take the bell housing out, and take the rear cover off the existing diff. Probably not going to pull the whole diff today just because it's a pain in the arse to do and I haven't got a lot of time, but we'll get some bits done. Okay, so it's my lovely messy engine bay. First job of the day is going to be taking the bell housing off, which means I've got to take off a few other bits and pieces first. And one thing I've got to do is take the clutch cable off. So you got it all, so you want it all, you're so big. Living your life chasing a checkpoint, you're checking your progression. Please don't question me, got the clutch release bearing off, and the clutch fork. Oh, feck. Well, that ain't being reused, is it? that's a lot of effort. That's the bell housing off, so got a new gasket for that. I need to clean up, and the whole thing needs a lick of paint. So I thought this was going to be the easy job, and it's turned out to be a right royal faff, but it's done. So next job I want to do is I want to pull the rear cover off the differential. I want to pull the rear cover off because I want, well, at least pull one of the bolts out so that I can work out what bolts I need for reattaching the new diff cover to the new diff. I may pull the full cover and reuse those bolts. I'll have a look what the condition of the bolts is like. I really CBA to pull out the whole diff right now though. It's a right faff of a job. I'm going to do that just when I'm ready to put the new one straight back in. So yeah, we'll move around to the back of the car. Before I make my way all the way around to the back of the car, I know I need a T50. Let's see if we can find it. It's going to be one of those moments where, no, I've got one. It's not going to be in here. Yeah, typically I can't find my T50. I'm just going to double check it is a T50. I've got a 45 and a 55, so I'm just going to check those. It is a T50, and I found it. Thought for a second it was a T45 because it seemed to fit, but it wasn't. So here we go. Let's see if we can get one out. Those rear diff cover bolts, they're not coming out easily, so I'm going to give up on that idea. I'm just going to have to order some bolts of approximately the right length and kind of hope. So yeah. Okay, so there's one final job I need to do at the back of the car here today, and that is actually release that fiberglass from the car so that I can, well, do some work to it. How would it treat diamonds for this decade? This man I'm feeling, I'm having the time of my life. And I wouldn't trade one freedom. Wouldn't trade having the time of my life. I wouldn't trade diamonds for this decade. So there we go, that's the part for the new fiberglass section of the rear arch, and the foam looks like it will be able to be repurposed for this side. It's going to need a trim to fit. It might save me from doing more expanding foam laying, so that'll be good. And so now I put that fiberglass back in place, so that's how it will actually go on the car. Obviously it's going to need a load of sanding and shaping and feeling and like every other bit of fiberglass I've made so far, but that is how it's going to sit. So it will be trimmed to the right dimensions, and obviously needs a hole cutting in the back for the lights to show through. So I think for out here today, that's it. I'm going to take the diff and the bell housing, not the inside, to get them all painted up and get the diff fully assembled with the rear housing cover on. I need to find some M10 bolts to do that with, and also find out what length they need to be. So I'm probably going to just put some temporarily in there just to kind of just hold it together, but I'm going to see if I can then find some nice fancy coloured ones to go with the fancy coloured painted diff, because, you know, why not? Bling, well, hey. Okay, got the diff and the bell housing in the house. In the back garden. Yes. And they're clean and they're masked up and ready for some paint. So I'm going to get on and put on some nice thin coats of paint, and the dogs are going to try and eat everything in the process. With 3 coats on, probably going to give the diff a 4th coat in places. Just needs a couple of bits of touching up. Bell housing might need some touching up once it's dried in a couple of places, but I'm going to let that dry, see how that looks. So yeah, get in there. Once the diff's all fully dry, I'm going to need to flip it over, paint the other side of it because I haven't been able to do the bottom, but get in there.
Morning guys, it's Monday morning, it's early and I've just got down to Halesowing Engines. Need to drop off the flywheel to them to have it refaced, and then from there the flywheel's going to, with the crank, off to be balanced. So yeah, that's the flywheel. Now it's been drilled with holes for the new dowels, so you can see it needs refacing, but it's generally okay, so just going to drop it into them now.
So it's Monday lunchtime and a bit of time today, so I'm going to do the underside of the diff as the paint is all dry. Bell housing is good to go, so that's fine, and we'll get that onto the gearbox soon, but for now let's do the underside of this diff. So let it dry, put the diff cover on, and diff is good to go in the car.
Wednesday lunchtime, just dropped down to Halesowing Engines to pick up the flywheel. It's all sorted now, so going to take it back up to Steve. There we go, one nicely sorted, shiny flywheel.
Diff cover to go on, and although technically you don't need it, I'm going to use a little bit of this stuff. It's Permatex Supra Blue gasket maker. Permatex stuff is really highly recommended by
the guys at Roadkill, Hot Rod Garage, etc, etc, so, and David Freiberger and all them, so I thought I'd give it a go. It really is bright blue. There we go, all nicely nipped up. So I didn't go for anything too fancy in the end, mainly because a pack of 10 of these, of which you only need 9, was the same price, or actually a little bit cheaper than one of the right size and fitting fancy coloured bolts. So I decided a nice bit of stainless steel would be absolutely fine, and actually it looks really good, so I'm happy with that. And I'm talking about things looking really good that I'm never really going to see again, but you know, these things are important. So that's the diff done, ready now to drop into the car. So next thing on the job list this morning is to put the bell housing onto the gearbox. And yes, before anybody pointed out to me, I have only just nipped those bolts up with a T50 screwdriver bit. I will give them just a touch more with the ratchet when I take it out to the garage. So the time is finally here. I'm actually going to take the tran-x box out of the box.
I always used to feel like a lone soul without a home, but now I've come to realize.
One of my concerns was whether or not it would have the speedo drive in place still. It seems it does. It's cut off at the moment. That's perfect. It means I can take that out and put my electronic speedo drive in that I started the project on ages ago, months and months ago. Before I even actually started this video series, you're going to have to go back and see some of my old videos if you haven't watched them. But yeah, be able to do it. Well, hey, whole thing's pretty clean, looking good. Let's get the bell housing on it. And that now goes on like this. Although I am a monumental idiot.
Oh, wow, I couldn't have told you that.
That's a screwdriver.
Was it not meant to go in there?
No, it wasn't.
Did it go out?
Yes.
Was it going to break it?
No.
Could it break it?
Yes. After much faffing, there we go, clutch release, bearing, clutch fork, back in the gearbox. So that is the gearbox now ready to drop back in the car. So that's actually where I'm going to end this video. So I was hoping to have got this video out midweek, but I just didn't get the time. I've been doing shitloads of overtime and you know, starting early, finishing late, etc. So just haven't had a chance to get this done in the week. So I'm actually going to put this video out now. It's Saturday morning, so I want to sort of get it done, edited. It'll probably be out tomorrow morning. Tomorrow I will actually then put, well, all being well, pull the gearbox, pull the diff, and drop these new ones in. So sorry if this video has been a very long, not a lot happening, but hopefully you found it interesting. And as always, thank you for watching. If you did like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, like us on Facebook, follow us on Twitter, follow us on Car Throttle, and anywhere else that you can find us. Hi, Bobo. Hi. What's this?
Waves across the shore. Oh, maybe you could fly my kite, babe. Maybe you could fly my kite, babe.